Hi everyone, let's go over problem 64, okay? So we have cosine squared, we get cosine squared 2x minus sine squared 2x, which is going to be 1/2, I would say. And in fact, I gave you the variation of cosine squared minus sine squared. If you use variations, well, I can give you that this is going to be just cosine 4x, which is going to be 1/2. Now, in order to see why this is true, this actually came from the idea of cosine A plus B. And in fact, I actually wrote this down in my think through. And you can actually check why we have cosine squared and sine squared having those differences. We have cosine A and cosine B. I'm subtracting this with sine A and sine B. Now you can see that if I have the same A and same B, well, we eventually get something like cosine 2A, which turns out to be cosine squared A minus sine squared A. Now you can see that if I switch A into 2x, basically we have cosine 4x. Now, if you look at the question carefully, x is between 0 and pi, right? So since x is between 0 and pi, I would say we can graph this, of course. If we just use the basic fact, from 0 to 2, from 0, not 2 pi, I would say we should go up to 4 pi. And if you go from 0 to 4 pi, well, there's going to be half of it. And of course, cosine 4x, eventually, I can call this as theta, and that becomes theta. And we know that we're going to have multiple graphs from 0 to 4 pi, but instead of saying x's, let's just try to graph with theta, okay? So we have cosine theta, eventually 1/2, where theta stays between 0 and 4 pi. Now, instead of using for x's, I can use theta, and we can have y, and I can tell you the graph of cosine graph. It's going to have the same graph, same portion graphed multiple times, just like this, twice. And all I need to do is just to sketch y equals 1/2. If I sketch y equals 1/2, guess what? I have 4 points of intersections. Now, 4 points of intersections, of course, it goes all the way to 4 pi, and that becomes 2 pi. And eventually, cosine theta, the usual graph, it has 2 cycles, because cosine theta, the original graph of cosine theta, will have the period of 2 pi. So we get 2 periods drawn out, and we just have 4 points of intersections. So I would say the answer for our question must be just 4, and that shall be it.